I actually have friends who were taught English in this exact room. So essentially this room was an illegal school at one point. There was a French gentleman who was taking people's tuition money, teaching them whatever subjects, mainly English I think, and he was closed down for not having a teaching license. So yeah, some of my friends, or one of my friends actually, who speaks very good English, was taught in this exact room. And look what I've done to it. I have made an absolute mess. So this has been a bit of a dumping ground, a storage room for far too long. And what I want to do today is completely clear it out, reorganize it, and figure out what we're going to do with this room. So, you name it, it's probably in this room. Sinks, solar panels, brand new ice making machine, chandelier things, libraries, paintings. So we need to clear it out. So let's crack on. If I can get these gloves on. Good morning, Yanis.
Good morning, Billy. Good morning, everyone.
So you learnt English at the convent, didn't you?
Yes, of course.
Yeah. Tu prends anglais
Yes.
avec moi?
Yes, of course.
So maybe I'm the illegal teacher.
You are my teacher. Just try. Speak more.
Speak more. Okay. So we need to clear up, Yanis.
Yes, of course.
So we're going to put this camera down.
Yeah.
And we're going to...
Let's crack on.
That's it. Machine, Yanis. And we're going to put it in the tool room, okay?
Yes.
So if you get one here, it's not attached, okay?
Oh, okay. Nice.
Good man.
This is baby Jesus.
I've got the toilet. So Yanis and I have managed to clear the room. So the majority of it was just stuff that I've bought, which I'm going to use for the convent. And the rest of it was mainly the library. But what was really difficult with having it in this room all stacked in corners is that I can't really go through it to work out what I need to use. So we've actually moved it into the bar room, which is next to the chapel, just along one wall, and now it's all completely exposed and we've sort of organised it. So it's going to be a lot easier. And I've got this camera in one hand and it's currently killing my arm, but it doesn't matter because what I want to do is, and I'm sorry if it's dark as well, I've got this measuring tool. We're going to work out how big this room is. So the kitchen is about 68 square meters. Okay, 8.5 meters that way. So now it's very bright. So we're at 60 square meters for this room. So this, in fact, I'm going to hold the camera and point and talk from behind it because it's very heavy. So I like the idea of this room divider, but I don't like that room divider because it's very shoddily made and it's covered in plywood, and yeah, it's actually really wonky as well. If you sort of stand here, it bows to the left there, and then it does sort of the same thing here. It's not very straight at all, and it also doesn't go all the way to the ceiling, I don't think, because at the top they've just put wood along it. So I'm not thinking it's original, and it looks very institutional, like a hospital wing or something like that. So if we do keep a room divider, we'll probably change it for something a bit nicer. But if this is a room where there's going to be a printer, for instance, you don't want it completely open because people might be walking from the library into where the lift shaft and staircase is, making their way to the, for instance, bar or chapel. So you don't want it completely open. And the fireplace is a lot bigger in this room than it is in the kitchen. It's massive. And above, there's also about just over 1/2 metre of cavity, and then above that you've got a lava and plaster ceiling, and then above that you've got the, I imagine it's oak. So you have 2 large beams going through, and then you'll have all the floor joists. So we want to expose that, but also there's an issue with the floor. So this is like a parquet floor that was put in probably around 1970, 1980s, because underneath they've actually put like a concrete blocks to support the timbers that are supporting the floor, and it's sloping all the way down to that corner. In fact, it's sloping down to that corner. So it's not level at all. Someone's tried to set fire to it at some point, and in here it's even worse. The floor then changes to lino, and then below that you've got another wooden floor, and then you've got a ramp going up there, and then this side it sort of slopes down from that room. So we need to work out what we're going to do with the floor, and what I would do is probably do something like the kitchen. So a moisture-proof membrane, and then insulation, probably not underfloor heating because it's just too much work, and then self-leveling concrete with big expansion joints going all the way through, and then the same tiles probably as the kitchen, and that would look really, really nice. And then for the room divider, maybe go something a bit more modern, or just leave the room completely open. There's a few options. And I mean, even with the room divider, the room is definitely big enough for the printer and a big table. So it'd be sort of like a room for artists as such, because don't forget the building is going to be used for retreats. So it needs to have different rooms for different things. Nice. So this room has got a lot of potential, from the fireplace to the original ceiling upstairs doing something about this dodgy parquet floor, removing this room partition because it looks way too institutional. It reminds me of a hospital, and yeah, new oak windows, new oak doors. It will just look absolutely fantastic. So yeah, tomorrow we're going to dismantle this very large cabinet, which is sort of behind that partition there. It's made of oak and it's from the same era the chateau was built. So we're going to dismantle that very carefully and then store it somewhere until it's transported to the chateau. Because it's going to go in the basement kitchen. It will look amazing down there. It can be basically a huge pantry cupboard. It doesn't match the style of the convent at all. So I think what we'll do tomorrow is we'll sort out that little hallway bit. That'll only take half an hour probably. Well, I don't know how long it's going to take to dismantle. But what I want to do is get in here and start removing the plasterboard ceiling to see actually what's above. So we can do this whole section in this room, make a pile of all the plasterboard, and then at some point we can remove this partition and then remove the other part of the ceiling and then start taking down all of this plasterboard walls, which I'm thinking probably got insulation behind it. They're in really bad condition, and I think there's been a fire in here because the ceiling's black and it's not mould. We don't have any mould on any ceilings in this building. And this looks like smoke damage because there was a fire on the floor there that someone's made when they decided to smash the place up before we bought it. So there we go, everyone. Yanis has been amazing and my back is broken. So see you all tomorrow.